Hi, and welcome back to Grassroots Crypto, where I like to teach people about crypto. And in this video, we're going to be talking about mainnet and what to expect in mainnet. So there's a lot of questions that I've seen, a lot of people got concerns and stuff like that. So I wanted to make a video covering this, where we go over all the information, get it there, get the facts straight, so people can have an expectation of what's going to happen when mainnet finally does happen. There's a bit to get through, so let's get started. So to fully understand mainnet, first we need to go back in a little bit of history. THORChain was started in 2018 at a Binance Dexathon with the idea of creating a cross-chain DEX. It had never been done before. Some people thought it wasn't even possible. So THORChain set out its vision in its white paper and chose to use very new technologies, Cosmos SDK with Tendermint, along with threshold signature schemes for its leadless vault. So with that, THORChain was more like an R&D project or experimental project from the beginning. In August 2020, a proof of concept version using the new Binance chain was launched, known as single chain Chaosnet. The term Chaosnet was used as it was very new and anything could happen. Didn't want to go to mainnet once using real assets like most other protocols, as is again, it was something new that needed to be proven. Taking the learnings from single chain Chaosnet, in mid-April, multi-chain Chaosnet was launched. This was the realization of the cross-chain vision of bringing multiple chains or enabling multiple swaps across chains and bringing DeFi to native Bitcoin. Being Chaosnet is launched with guardrails and protections, as it was understood that there might be issues, and yes, as we know, there was. Here, it kind of details it more in this article, saying it was in active R&D for the last 2 years, and there was multiple risks with regard to using this. And it was in beta. I guess that's the main thing, it was in beta, and that's why they're calling it Chaosnet. Which meant many companies, exchanges, and big players didn't really take THORChain seriously because it was in this self-proclaimed beta mode. So why would they spend all this time and effort on THORChain when they say like it's not really ready like other protocols are? This approach undoubtedly hindered THORChain's adoption and growth and publicity and stuff like that, but undoubtedly gave it also time to grow technically and for the community to grow and flourish in and around it. THORChain did undergo some issues, which we kind of all know about. However, they have recovered and become much stronger for it. So good thing they had those guardrails in place and it was considered beta because that mitigated the losses. So now we understand Chaosnet. I wanted to go and actually touch on where we are today. Just get some stats. We've got the TVL and stuff like that. Going to THORSwap V2 stats, we can see like the trade volume, 8.3 billion. Deposit volume, over 1 billion now here. Swap volume, I mean, all the numbers are here. I don't really want to just read them all out. And then we've got tokens trading. So I think it's 26. You can actually go to here and count them all. Or you can go to here and it says no, I don't want to install GitHub. 26 here. So 26 tokens trading. I think there's 26 suggested. So you got 52 or whatever. So a lot of tokens trading, average daily volume, you can get all that there. So we've got 102 distributed nodes over using different infrastructure providers. So looking quite healthy there. That's actually going to go to 120 nodes, active nodes. And I believe there's a request to enforce diversity across infrastructure providers. So all the code is open source. Anyone can actually go read it. You can have a look at all the issues. You can go have a look at all the code. Audits have been published. You can go to the audits here and have a look at them all from pre single chain Chaosnet to now. All the major bugs that have been found have been disclosed, and there's a bounty program in place that for any exploits or stuff like that can be found. The ecosystem is quite huge now. I don't really want to go through it all, but you can have a good look at it here. Exchanges, wallets. Education, I mean, that's a really good one there. LP Uni, there's so much going on. Analytics, infrastructure, so something for the normal, I guess, users as well as all the technical people. Support for integration and development libraries. There's a whole new dev docs and stuff like that here. you can have a look at. It's just amazing what's actually been built in this in the last, I don't know, year since this has been launched. So I want to talk about what's going to happen when mainnet happens, because that's how we spell when now, apparently. I see it very much like a 21st birthday or an 18th birthday. You know, you biologically, you don't change or anything like that, but it marks the coming of age. You can, I don't know, drink alcohol, you can get bank accounts, you can drive. You're now considered an adult, whereas previously you weren't. So it doesn't actually mean anything. It's more like a label change, but in a way it means a lot. There are a couple of things that are actually going to get focused on, and first is going to be the kill switch. And the kill switch is where, well, I will just say it here. It's where you would upgrade your non-native rune to native rune. And this article explains it, of, you know, what it is and why you want to do that. And we can see that it's actually a PR has been put in, so the code's actually in. And I did go have a look at this. There's no actual start time. So whilst the code's in and everyone's talking about it, there's no actual start date. So let's not panic yet. There will be a grace period, but I would advise it's best to get it done now, or plan a time and just upgrade your rune to native rune. There will be a focus on the kill switch once mainnet launches. Best to get it done now. When there was issues before, the treasury made liquidity providers and node operators whole. They reimbursed them. They sort of like insured people or the users during Chaosnet. This is not going to happen anymore once mainnet happens. So users will need to understand their own risks when utilizing the protocol, and it's going to be pretty much like every other DeFi project out there. Greater wallet integrations, we showed that, so you can expect more wallets from more providers integrating with native rune. Native rune listings on centralized exchanges. You can very much expect this. This would, one, it will assist with the kill switch, so people upgrading, you might have native rune on an exchange, and maybe that will get upgraded for you. And also bring a lot more liquidity and volume within THORChain. Now it becomes, native rune becomes more and more accessible. There will be funds spent on marketing for the very first time, and this would please a lot of people in the community. It's been a bit contentious. So I wish I knew more details about that, but we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. And there's going to be a lot more attention and eyes on THORChain. This will also mean that there'll a lot more scams, a lot more people trying to exploit it or to do stuff. So whilst it's good from, you know, certain point of view, it's also a bit of a double-edged sword at the same time. So while there are no significant changes to the network itself, as you can see, this will have a big impact on the network overall. So what is going to be happening to the devs? So firstly, the core devs going to be building THORFi. 9 Realms are going to be adding new chains. THORSec is going to be continuing to monitor and ensure THORChain security. So there's no changes around there. Network maintenance will occur as usual. Updates will be pushed. The show will go on. There are no structural changes or management changes or anything like that. The intern will still be managing the Twitter account, so strap in for that. So nothing's really going to happen for the next at least 12 months until planned obsolescence. So really, it's business as usual. There's no need to panic. So whilst mainnet is going to be delivered, the developers still have a lot more that they want to do within THORChain. So first, there can be additional chain integrations. So Haven will very, very, very likely be implemented after mainnet, and then as well as Atom. There'll be more chain updates and what's happening in the dev updates. Community growth, so you can expect a lot more the ecosystem to grow and expand, as well as more centralized and decentralized parties or organizations coming within the THORChain ecosystem to build on top or within. And then there'll be THORFi. So if you're not sure about THORFi, see my fantastic video here. Make sure you've made a cup of coffee or tea before you watch it. It's quite long. Just let me break it down. So first you'll have THOR.USD, and this can be implemented first without the rest of the THORFi, the lending and the savings. Once this is done, THOR.USD, which is a derived asset, will be able to be sent out to different areas through IBC, through EVM chains like Ethereum and the Terra ecosystem and stuff like that. So it's going to be able to propagate throughout, you know, the greater ecosystem. So that would be really cool. And then the lendings and savings, which are two sides of the same coin, will be released. And that does really require kind of THOR.USD, particularly for lending, and also the derived asset model, which savings needs. So this is much more complex, so you would expect it to see it sometime after THOR.USD is delivered. I'm not going to comment on an approximate timeline for this, as I'd likely be wrong. Lastly, we have aggregator creation. And let me just go to THORnoobs here. There's a design that has been created to greatly increase THORChain's power. So THORChain can integrate itself into other decentralized exchanges, such as SushiSwap, Astroport, Uniswap, and stuff like that, in order to swap assets. So instead of THORChain being able to support 100 tokens, THORChain, along with its integrated dexes, can support any token supported by any integrated decentralized exchange. THORChain's devs will be building out this. However, any interface or dex and stuff like that can expand it as they see fit. So this is a bit of a nice overview. THORSwap put something out here. So this is an example for swapping Uni to BDC, even though Uni is not actually listed on THORChain. So you swap Uni to Ethereum on one end, sure, it could be on Uniswap, SushiSwap, or whatever, and then Ethereum to BDC through THORChain. But this wouldn't actually be known or seen from the user. It would be just a direct Uni to BDC swap. They would know what's going on behind the scenes. As you can see, someone's happy about this. Right, that is a really big deal, aggregator creation. All right, let's talk about the seed unlock, because there's been a lot of concern about a big Rune being unlocked and sold on market and stuff like that, particularly with Coin Bureau's video. So let's get the facts, and then we'll know exactly what's going to happen. So regarding the seed investors, this was talked a little bit about in this particular article here, but just to expand on that more. All seed investors have elected an accelerating investing schedule. Their seed will have 12 months of required participation in the network, e.g. adding bonds for node. So that will be locked up and won't actually be able to leave. Regarding the team, there's no actual change to the team vesting schedule. It will be 20% every 3 months for 12 months, with the first one happening on mainnet. So it's 5 payments all up. There is 15 million Rune that can be unlocked early. However, this will be used for bond, which is the same way as the seed investors are. So they'll be locked in for 12 months. When you have a look at the actual Rune tokenomics, that's talking about obviously the team and seed here. You can read more about the bond and the unlocking for bond on this seed investors here in this article. And you can see more about the rest of the Rune and how that's going within the network in the latest treasury report here. As well as, you can track all the actual wallets and transactions and everything else. Just to summarize, and the main takeaway points. No major changes to the network when we go mainnet. It's more of a label change, but it does mean a lot for the network, even though there are no actual changes. The kill switch is coming, and they will have more of a focus. Whilst there's a grace period, it's highly recommended that you get this done beforehand, because you don't want to have issues later on. There's no big sell-off of Rune, as that's not actually possible in the way that things are set up. It's very much business as usual, at least for the next 12 months or until planned obsolescence comes, which is not, anytime soon. New chains and new features will be added post mainnet, so there's a lot to look forward to. I hope you found this useful. I hope this gives you the facts you wanted to hear and know about with regards to THORChain Mainnet. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, put them in the comment section below. If you like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, thanks. Bye.